Hello, 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 and welcome. Welcome to ER Emotional Response Podcast. This is Ivory, Life Coaching with Ink. Tonight's topic comes to you with a heavy, heavy heart. Today, I lost my aunt, my grandmother's first niece. A woman that was a pillar of the family, a woman that was throughout my childhood, totally involved on a weekly basis with spending time with me and my brothers and sisters. And tonight I come to you with a heavy heart. When I graduated high school, I remembered her smile. When I graduated college, I remembered her smile. When I seen how she wowed at the existence of my two little ones, my 2 and 5-year-old, I remember her smile. And I can say our last interaction, we actually was laughing and talking about good memories. Our last time seeing each other and our last time talking with each other, it was still good. And I don't want to remember her any other way except that way. Grief has no duration, no format, no cookie-cut style. Grief is something that's inevitable in this lifetime due to the fact that we can't change that. We can't live forever. We can't live forever. And so on this side of heaven, because of the relationships that we've built and the value we put into the relationships, we grieve when we lose that person. Grief is normal. Grief is something that you're supposed to feel when someone leaves your life. And the level of intensity of the grief is contingent on how much you valued the person. And I'm not talking about how much you talked to them, how much you was around them, how much you valued them. A lot of times I will say, and to this day I will believe and say, I don't want to change anything in the past. But if I could go back, I would go back and live certain moments a little longer. And those moments with Auntie Sugar, I would relive all over again. Tonight's topic is grab the bull by the horns. Grab the bull by the horns, meaning that in order for you to move forward with any hardship, with anything that's vexing your soul, you have to grab it by the horns. Grab life by the horns and move forward. And I'm not just saying this theoretically, I'm saying it experientially. This is hard. It's very hard for me to do this podcast, knowing the roller coaster of emotions I went through today, from denial from wanting to stop time, from wanting to rewind time, and then embracing time. It's not easy. It's not easy. But it's not impossible either. It's not impossible either. You have to learn how to do something difficult in a brave and determined way. You have to learn how to take that leap of faith and believe, as difficult as it is, God, your higher being, has you. You have to believe that the inner strength that was designed in you is enough. You have to take the bull by the horns and deal with the difficult situation of grief, of loss, and move forward. Through the years since my grandparents passed, I've always said I haven't had another experience where someone close has passed away in my life. But this time, this has really hit home, and it has hit very hard. And let me say something about grief for those that are going through grief, for those that have loved ones that's going through grief, for those that's trying to understand grief. Grief is very real, and grief has no cookie cut nor time duration on it. No cookie cut steps. It is normal to grieve, and it is also normal to grieve and still live. And that's what was hard for me to grasp when I was younger. In 2000, I lost my grandmother, and I thought a part of grief was stop living, stop moving, stop existing, stop getting up. And at that moment, I wanted to freeze time. Because, number one, I didn't want to embrace reality. And number two, I wanted to rewind and stop this from even happening. And so, for 6 months, I went through grief without living until someone came along me during my break, I was working at the bank, and they said to me, how long are you going to grieve and not live? As much as you love that person, do you think they want you to stop living? I had dropped down in weight. My interest level in different activities stopped. And it was very normal to not live. Because in my eyes, I was always wondering, how can I live past this moment if it was to happen? And now that it has happened, how do I live? And I never prepared myself for it, so I never was able to move forward until that person came out and said that during my break. And at times, we lose sight of that part. Living in the most difficult times. Living when you're grieving a loved one. And you know, I'm not saying that just from a theoretical stance. I'm saying that from an experiential stance. I lost my aunt today. I cried till I went numb. Now it feels like I'm going through the stage of just existing, but I have to. You have to grab the bull by the horns and move forward. You have to. Your kids is watching. Your loved ones is watching. Your friends are watching. And it's during this time, in this broken place and space that you're in, that you are at your strongest. Tears are strength. When you're broken, you're available to see, number one, is something way bigger than you that you have to pull on. And I don't force religion down anyone's throat. My biggest thing is having a relationship with your Creator. And that's the biggest thing that I do. The most important thing, have a relationship with my Creator. Because in Him I live, I move, and have my being. I exist not based on how good I am. And I have to talk about that because people think the things that go on in their life is contingent of their goodness. And the bad things that go on in their life is contingent on their badness. But mercy and grace is given to any and everybody. And bad things happen to good people. So we're going to all find out at the end of our lives that things that we thought we was dead right on, we was wrong on. And things that we was dead wrong on, we're going to find we thought we was dead wrong on, we were right. Grab the bull by the horns. If you have to take a hot shower every morning till you get this,